Hello, welcome to number 6, week 6 of the Isolation Gigs podcast. We are very, very deep into isolation now, and it's starting to show. And
Are you talking about me?
both of us. We're going to try and do something a little bit different this week. So as you'll see, we don't have our full range of panelists.
No, we don't.
Like we have done before. But we are going to be joined in around about 10 minutes by a very special guest, Kate McKeown, who runs Quarantine FM, which is another platform set up a little bit like Isolation Gigs to help people out during the lockdown period. And she's going to tell us all about what's happening at Quarantine FM, and we'll learn a little bit more about her background as well. And we'll just try and just learn a bit about that and see what else is going on in the world of isolation.
Yeah.
Because we've had a lot of gigs, haven't we, Chloe? We've had quite a few.
We have. Yeah, we've been as much as we're in isolation, I think we've been still trying to do a lot of what we normally do from the comfort of our homes, haven't we?
Yeah, pretty much. Much. And what I think is quite good to see is loads of people are doing like different gigs for different pages. So you're going to be doing one for Cambridge University on Friday, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. I'm going to do a happy hour gig tomorrow with Buskin Bruce. Yeah. So we're going to take the Sunday sofa sessions to Friday afternoon and see how that goes down with a different audience.
Yeah,
should be fun. Yeah,
and I think that's quite a cool thing. People are kind of like, they're obviously still in their rooms on their houses, but they're managing to go and reach other audiences through different platforms and things like that, which is quite cool.
Yeah, definitely. And I think also for the people that having spoken to the ladies today and done a little quick Zoom call and Zoom test, just knowing how much every Friday that just sort of brightens the end of their week, because it's strange just to imagine that all these people, this huge team of people, are working from home with their families around, and then they all come together on a Friday afternoon for an hour apparently. So yeah, it'll be nice to experience that. And you know how we've been doing Facebook or Instagram lives, we see people commenting, but we don't see their faces. So I think you've done a Zoom, haven't you? You've done a Zoom gig.
I've done one Zoom gig, yeah. That was the for the bards on the boats, yeah.
Sure. And it's kind of a different experience to see people watching you. Like you actually do have a virtual visual audience, right?
Yeah, and if it's the same as kind of thing that I did, you hear people clapping as well.
Yeah.
Which is one thing you definitely don't get when you do it on your own. You're just kind of imagining people clapping or
do you know what's really I don't know if I've said this to you, but when we watch your gigs, it's really strange because you always say thank you after a song, but there's some songs where we really are clapping and you're like, oh, thank you, thank you very much. And it's like, how do you know? It feels like that we've just clapped for you.
Maybe you kind of get a feeling that song, if it went well for you, then hopefully it went well for all the other people watching. But
I think it's true. I think it's true.
It's hard to tell, and that's one of the weirdest things, and that's one thing that people say to me. They probably say to you as well. It's like, what's it like? Like what do we do in between songs? Because you do quite a bit of chatting, don't you? And you've done some Q&As now with Buskin Bruce.
Buskin Bruce. I do a bit too much chatting, I think, or a bit too much darting back and forth from the screen. but yeah, you feel that you need to interact, and I can't see what people are writing from where I'm sat, so I have to go forward. But yeah, people have asked me that, but you just kind of get used to it, don't you? That different vibe.
Like I think that's what I was saying to someone yesterday. Like they haven't done one before, but I was kind of just saying, well, once you do one, it then becomes a little bit more like a gig. You just kind of that's what you see gigs at the moment. That's what they are. And there's all kinds of weird and wonderful platforms I've seen. 3D virtual venues. I think Talent one of those. I think I saw Daisy Chute doing one.
People are getting really creative, aren't they? I'm trying to think. There was one that I saw that I was like, whoa, that's really different, and I can't place it right now. But I was chatting with mum and dad earlier actually about how doing this happy hour gig tomorrow, and how it doesn't feel like that's going to just suddenly stop. I think because it's going to be a while, isn't it? So I think the more that people can get innovative about different platforms, doing different things, not necessarily gigs, but sharing different different ways of entertaining and different ways of interacting, then the more we're going to kind of get through this smoothly, and
absolutely.
not with as much boredom or frustration as I think some people are feeling. So,
and I think it's good that people are. I mean, I've noticed some people taking a break for a couple of weeks and then coming back. Some of our regular people actually have taken a break. That's why it's been a bit quieter on isolation gigs this week.
Yeah, that's fair.
Some people are taking a break, but some people are kind of also branching out and doing different things. I'm doing an influencers thing, and then the next couple of weeks I'm going to be off doing stuff for other platforms as well. So
nice. Well, you did something for Cambridge FM, didn't you?
Yeah, Cambridge 105. Yeah,
Cambridge 105. Yeah,
and that's a really cool thing actually. Lockdown Live, I think they call it.
Yeah.
And that goes live on the radio, which I never actually thought was possible to do a live stream.
I know.
From your house and then out.
But I mean, you know, the radio needs content. The radio needs to interact with people, don't they? So they need to keep sharing that music, and the technology is allowing us to do it at the moment, which is good for us at the moment, I think.
Yeah, because they'd be out and about doing events, wouldn't they? And like speaking to people in the street and stuff like that. But yeah, they can't do any of that stuff. So
well, actually, I was telling you, wasn't I, that there's a live stream going on at the moment for the next 3 hours, I think now. It's a sort of tag team event raising money for the NHS on YouTube. It's called Stream With Me. And I've been featured, like some little clips of me dancing at home and chatting away about what I've been up to in isolation, and just kind of be sort of like interjected within this sort of live stream challenge game thing that they're doing. It's a whole mix of stuff, but yeah, I was watching a bit before I came on, and it looks quite entertaining, like getting different celebrities to do different things live, and then they're sort of tag teaming over to someone else. And so there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of things that you can, if you are creative and you want to get involved, but you don't necessarily want to do live gigs. And there's so many different people still wanting content and still wanting, you know, to document, because this is the thing I thought about that was, this is such a unique period for everybody that you've got to document it. Like, you've got to find a way of, if you're creative and you're artistic and you work in that way, like there is just so much content to sort of talk about, isn't there?
Yeah, exactly.
As much as we're all in our homes, we're all finding different ways to cope. And
exactly. And do you know what time you're on, or are you kind of, it could be
I think I'm on like right now.
Okay,
so there's a feature now, apparently round about now, and then 7:20, but you know, you might blink and miss me. I've got no idea. I just know that the footage that I was asked to submit is going in. So
what people should do is stick around to watch this.
Yes.
And then go and watch you at 7:20.
Go and watch me at 7:20. I'll have to do the link, because it's, you know, a whole load of YouTube jargon. I'll put the link under, and then if anyone wants to, they can go on over there and see what's going on.
Great. Yeah. And I'm going to be involved in a few like all-day festival things. They haven't been announced yet, but I think there's going to be a few of those going on in the next couple of weeks, because it is festival season now.
Festival season starting, yeah.
Officially, I think festival season. So it's going to be the first year in my memory of not going to a festival, probably.
Honestly, that's still a thought that I don't think I've quite processed. I think it's I mean, you play at so many, and I've played at loads over the years as well, but probably not as many as you. And it's just to know that's not happening is very bizarre.
Yeah. And festivals often are part of a big part of like touring bands' schedules. So I've noticed that I've been looking at posters, and it's saying cancelled.
Yeah.
Instead, it's live stream.
What else are you going to do? Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. So, but hopefully, if we can, it's not going to be the same, is it? We're not going to be in a field, and we're not going to be, you know, jumping around or dancing or anything. But,
well, also, we're not going to be with our friends or colleagues or whatever, drinking and having a laugh. But, you know, yeah, we've got to find another way, haven't we, to sort of try and make that.
Hopefully, we can
make that happen.
Create some kind of festival atmosphere throughout the summer. But, you know, who knows? We don't know. I think there has been an announcement. I think Boris was back today, but I haven't looked at it yet. So
Boris is back with the baby.
back with the baby. Yeah. So.
I mean, what
crazy
this time
for him, isn't it? You know.
Say again.
Crazy time for him. He's
crazy time.
He's just come out of hospital, and then he's obviously was back in hospital. I imagine.
Unbelievable.
Seeing his new baby. So.
Yeah. Honestly, sometimes I stop and I just laugh at this whole situation. It's not funny. I appreciate that, but you're just like, I can't process quite what is going on, and then sometimes it just feels totally normal that this is how we're living.
Yeah. There is a certain level of normality that that seems to have like set in, isn't there?
Yeah, and I think most people kind of needed that to set in slightly, but I think there is generally a bit of resistance to it as well, because you obviously don't want to think, oh, this could be the reality for a long time, because there's a lot that you feel like you're missing. But the sooner you do sort of go, okay, how can I make this a reality, the easier the days become, I think.
Yeah,
to a degree. Yeah. It's still an up. Do you still feel like it's a bit of an up and down one?
Yeah, it's definitely an up and down one.
Yeah.
Apparently Boris is saying it's over the worst or something, whatever that means.
Oh, you just checking in?
Yeah, I just had a message, but yeah.
Is it?
I'll just go on whenever they kind of release the lockdown. So, but no, I think it is up and down. But once you settle into a kind of way, because the first few weeks you're kind of working out what the hell's happening, and then once you settle into it a little bit, you can at least, like, you know, doing stuff like this. We've got something every week that we do. We've got gigs that we do. It does help become a little bit more normal. And actually, because you know, the fear of missing out isn't there, is it? Because it's not like.
Do you not think it is? I still feel it.
I feel it, but only in a personal sense. So it's not like all my mates are partying down the road, because they're not.
No, you're so right. It's a different fear of missing out, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a very personal one. Yeah.
More, oh, that's a shame we're not doing that. But you know, it's not like anyone else is doing it. So yeah.
No, I think no, you're right. I do think, but I've realized this week that I'm still working on how to just go with the flow a bit with it, because I think when you are at home and you haven't got those commitments to get to necessarily, like, of course we've created commitments for ourselves with podcasts, with gigs, like you said, and other projects, but when you haven't actually got them to go to, where someone's going to be like, I'm not going to pay you if you're not doing that or something. There's a side of me, and I realize, I think maybe it's the creative in us, but I'm like, well, if I'm not going to work, then how do I make myself feel like accomplished or fulfilled? Or because obviously I've realized how much you sort of attribute that to your career, or I do. And so that's a lesson I'm learning, because it's like, do you know what, it's okay if some days you're not doing that as well. But naturally I do realize I like to be productive and I like to be active, and even when something in me saying, you know what, it's okay if you just chill today, I'm a bit like, is it? Because I haven't worked, or I haven't earned it. So I'm still working through that a bit. I don't know if you feel that. Maybe not.
I do. It's a different thing. You kind of feel it. Well, I think sometimes you just have to kind of just say to yourself, well, I am working, I am doing stuff, even if it's not in the traditional sense.
Totally.
I think we have Kate to welcome in now.
Yay! So amazing.
Hello, Kate.
Is she there?
Hi, guys.
I can hear you and I just can't see you.
Hello?
Oh, there you are.
How are you doing?
Oh, hi. I'm good. How are you guys? Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.
The most random thing ever. I was like, what's going on?
It's a bit strange.
Oh, I hope my Wi-Fi stays. I don't know if it will.
Hopefully. If not, we sometimes find that 4G sometimes works better, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, are you on your phone, Kate, or a laptop or iPad?
No, I'm on the old laptop. Yeah, I'm on the laptop. Laptop. I'll just text my family and talk. It's not even mine. That's how bad it is. Hold on, let me just text my fam to tell them to shut up. How are you guys?
Good. Yeah, good. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
No worries, no worries.
Sorry, I've got a bit of delay. I think Elliot's hearing you before I am, so sorry if I don't respond.
I think we have got.
Don't worry, this is fun. So random.
We have got a slight delay, so I'll try and work with it as far as we can.
Yeah, if you guide it, Elle, then I'll just respond as and when I know that you've heard Kate.
Yeah. So Kate, basically, we wanted to have a quick chat with you because I know you're really busy. Because you're actually a key worker as well, aren't you? I think.
Yeah. So I just legged it in from work. Yeah. I'm working 9 to 5 in the hospital, working in a laboratory, which is hilarious. It's just nuts. Basically I was an actor and I was on tour up in Northern Ireland, and then the tour got cancelled, and so I took the bus back down to Dublin for a few days because I had a wedding that weekend, and then the wedding got cancelled, my flights got cancelled, and I've been here pretty much since. But I'm usually based in London, so I have to pay rent over there, so I had to get a job. And then luckily both my parents work in the hospital, so they were able to kind of ring me in and just get me a job. But it's not like a catering job or anything. It's literally like testing blood and stuff. It's hilarious. People are like, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know. Yeah.
Is that anything you've done before?
So that's that. No, I've never done it before. So both my parents are like chemists and scientists, and I am the furthest away from that. Yeah. And they were like, come and work in the lab, and I did biology for my leaving cert, which is like the English A levels. And I was so bad at it. I was so bad. And the rest of my family, my cousins, my aunts, my uncles, they're all scientists. And I'm just like, I want to be on the stage.
Yeah. Amazing.
Excellent. So
that's that. Yeah. That's what I'm doing.
Well, it's really important work, obviously.
Very commendable. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah. So obviously I kind of found, I think, you on Facebook through some Facebook group, one of these kind of congregated kind of Facebook groups, I think, somewhere. And I saw your post about Quarantine FM, and I thought, wow, what's that? That sounds really cool. So tell us a little bit about Quarantine FM, because I think it's got a similar kind of ethos to what we're doing with Isolation Gigs. And how did you kind of get the inspiration or the idea?
Yeah. So basically, myself and my best friend, Anna Rose Charlton, we have been best friends for about 10 years, and she is a radio presenter over here in Ireland. She works for kind of the Irish version of BBC, or it's called RTE. And all her work got cancelled because she's a self-employed, and she also is a film. So all of that got cancelled as well. And then the work cancelled, and we both found ourselves in Dublin. And then her mom came into her one day and was like, you guys should set up a radio station. That would be fun. And then she was like, Kate, you want to set up a radio station? And I was like, I'm not doing anything else. Like, why not? So we decided to set one up, and we had about 3 people on board at the time. And we were like, yeah, we'll do it for, 2 hours a day, or just something fun, just to kind of get a bit of experience and just to chat and do something. And I guess fast forward 6 weeks, and we set it up in 6 days. So that's kind of the key thing. We, like you guys, I'd say, we literally pulled microphones out of people's garages, and it was before we were locked down. So it was the week before we locked down, so we could still be together. And I was still working, and I had just gotten the job. I had a few days before I went to the hospital. So we were driving around to all these different places, getting things and trying to figure out how to actually broadcast. And Anna Rose, to be fair to her, she is the radio gal. Like, she organizes everything, and she does all the tech stuff. And then I did all like the marketing and the actual like content of the thing. And we just, in 6 days, we just decided to do an actual radio station and make it something cool. And we scheduled a load of different shows, and each presenter that we had time. And the idea was that we were really lucky that we broadcasted from Anna Rose's house, basically. And the room that she broadcast it from, you can get into from the back, so through the garden, so you don't have to go into the house. So the idea was that hope before lockdown was that people would come in through the back. We bought loads of different things like gloves and all the cleaning stuff, and then you'd get your temperature taken at the gate, and then if you were good to come in, then you could come in. But then each show was there was a half an hour in the middle before the next show, so that people could cross and like come in and cross. So the idea was that it would be this fun COVID-19 thing, but we were still being really health conscious. And then so we started it up, and we had a few presenters come that week, which was so fun. And then we were doing it all live, which was awesome. Yeah. And then on Friday of the first week, they told us that we were going on lockdown, and we have to completely think this. Are we able to do it? How are we gonna work? Blah. And then so kind of from there, 6 weeks later, have a team of over 50 people. We broadcast 12 hours a day. Anna Rose sits in the bedroom all day, every day, and watches the feed and makes sure, and basically everybody, all of our presenters they pre-package their shows on Google Drive, basically, and Anna Rose just presses play every different show, and then we have to watch the feed and make sure it doesn't go down. So Anna Rose and her family are basically doing the whole thing 12 hours a day, Monday to Friday. So that's where we're at. It's insane. Yeah, it's insane, but it's amazing. And it's so much fun, and we have the greatest team. Yeah, like we're not paying anyone. I want to make clear, we have not paying a soul to do anything. We're not making any money off this. It's just an absolute passion project that we just started, and people seem to love it. We've been so lucky that we've got all these incredible people. We've got an editing team, we've got web designers, we have this amazing new website, we've got all of these incredible presenters, and it's a massive machine to manage, because it's just getting bigger and bigger by the day almost. Pretty much people are getting involved all the time, because it's insane, but
it sounds like
it's
you're
fun.
smashing it. Like, I mean, it just because for Anna Rose to have to, and her family to have to manage that for 12 hours Monday to Friday, it sounds silly, because obviously in normal life you go off and do a job, and you pocket out like 8 to 10 hours of travel time and things, but in this situation, like, most people are kind of, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, but and they're just like micromanaging it. But it's obviously working, and that's insane, because the fact it's getting out to loads of people and keeping like people entertained, and giving you guys a purpose and creating something new for you guys, it's really exciting.
Yeah, it's really exciting. And I think the idea of the whole thing is kind of like what you guys, I'm sure, have, is felt like every single media outlet was just coronavirus the whole time. And there was lovely stories. It was always about coronavirus. So that was why we started it up, because we were just sick of it. And we're so lucky now. We have a few shows that talk about the coronavirus. We've got a really cool current events show, and that's on actually now from 5 to 6. We've also got a mental health show, which it doesn't talk specific about coronavirus, but it really, really does deal with the different anxieties that people might be feeling and all those kind of things. That's amazing. And we have a really fun show called Good News Day, which is in the mornings, and we have loads of different key workers, just like loads of really nice, fun stories. So we're definitely trying to just cheer people up. That's all we're here to do, and I think we are, hopefully.
Oh, I bet you are. Like, you're cheering me up already.
One thing I
Yay!
when I went on the website was that all the show names are really fun, and I was like, every single one, I was like, oh, that sounds interesting, that sounds cool. And it's not often you see that. You normally just see some and you think, oh, news, that'll be a bit boring. But they all look really fun. And you have one called Garden Gigs, don't you, as well?
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, so Garden Gigs is a massive passion project of ours, because we are an Irish radio station. We're really proud of that. Yes, we have a lot of English presenters, but we're super, super proud of being Irish, and we really want to give young or brand new kind of Irish performers showcase their music. So garden gigs, the idea before it all went lockdown was that we would have a different band every single day in the garden that Anna Rose has inside the station. So that was where it kind of started. But now we have made the show into a show that just purely plays only Irish music, and it's from 2:30 until 5. And we have a different presenter that presents it every single day, and they get sent a lot of different emails. So Anna Rose and I have control of all the emails and all the DMs and all that kind of thing. So what we do is we just screenshot all the different things that people might be contacting us with and send it into the guys.
Right.
And then they play whatever type of music they might be sent. And the great thing is that it's not just, you know, Paddy Irish old school kind of violin-y fiddle stuff. It's like rap. It's like really cool Irish stuff that we're so proud of, and people don't really know that side of Ireland, I think. So yeah, that's a really big one that we're super proud of. And it's an extra long show because it's really, well, not, they're all great, but that one is just really important to us.
Yeah.
And I think it's really great because it's kind of, like you say, it's kind of international. It's kind of showcasing parts of the Irish music scene that people don't know. And I think that's the beauty as well about being an online station as well, isn't it? Where you can kind of reach global audience if you want to.
Yeah, I mean, we've been really lucky. We've had people reach out to us from all over the world. Like yesterday we had, well, actually she's on tonight for my show. We had an amazing girl called Alyssa Faratro, and she's in LA working with Spotify, and her PR people contacted us and were like, hey, can you have her on the show? And that's kind of been happening a lot. We've got listeners from all around the world now, which is really cool. And I think the important thing that we're really trying to get is Irish people abroad that feel like they can't get home or that are missing home and just live abroad. We're trying to give them a voice and to let them know what's going on at the current Ireland. You know, that's why we're here, and we're definitely reaching global art, which is hilarious. I mean, when I say we originally set this up to be just a passion thing, and now it's kind of escalated into this thing that's really cool and really fun, and who knows where it might go in the future.
Absolutely. Do you know what though? When anything comes from passion, it's always going to end up being something of substance and something of value to other people as well, because like you say, it was just brewed from that. So that's why it's taken off, and that's why, and it's got a place right now. I mean, people need it. People are looking for this stuff.
I hope so. I think they are. I think there's a lot of content out there at the moment. There's a lot. It's a massive. The internet's a massive hub, and I think if you kind of want to get away from that, shove your earphones in and just listen to some music and a bit of chat. We've got very specific, like you said, we really specific shows, and the reason for the titles is because you kind of know what you're going to get per show, so you can really tune in to depending on what you want. If you want a bit of mental health, you go to our Keep Calm and Carry On show. If you want arts and culture, you go to the Passion Project. If you want music, you go to that. You know, we have pajama hours, very morningy, and we've got loads of different cool people who come in, like sustainable fashion people. Anna Rose does that one, and we've really a great show which is called Crackheads, CRAIC, and it's an all Irish show. So we have our two presenters who are Gaelgors, and they just contest Gaelga the whole time. They just talk Irish the whole show, which is really, really nice. Really, we're really proud of that one too. Not that we're not proud of all of them. They're all amazing. They're all amazing.
It all sounds so wonderful.
Yeah, it's so interesting. All those shows when I was looking through, and you even had Sky News pick up on this story as well, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, it's hilarious. Like, what and people are saying, how did you get all this stuff? I mean, we have I've sent out loads and loads and loads of emails, and so has Anna Rose. But Sky News was one of those rogue ones that somebody just messaged us on Twitter, and we're like, hey, you want to be on Sky News? And we were like, let me check me. And then it all fell through. Yeah, I was like, it all fell through, which was really disappointing. But luckily we hadn't said to anybody that it was happening. And then the second time they approached us and they were like, okay, we're people to this this is all going to happen. And we were like, wow, this is amazing. And then that fell through.
No.
And then eventually, it was one thing after the next, but we were like, whatever, like we can't complain. Even talking to these people is really cool.
Sure.
And then they finally reached out to us and were like, right, no, you're coming on in the morning just before the news. And we were like, what? So it's actually a really funny story. Anna Rose and I we decided we would tell people because we thought this one was this seemed pretty legit. Seemed like that. So we decided to tell the team, and everyone got really excited, and it was really fun. And we were kind of, we have an amazing graphic designer, Elliot, and she was making graphics for us. And the next morning they said that they would call us after the meeting. The way every kind of big morning show have a meeting before it all goes out, and they said they'd call. So Anna Rose and I woke up at 6 a.m. and we were so excited. We were waiting on the call. Obviously the two of us on the phone, and no call until 8 o'clock. I had said to Anna Rose, right, if we get to 8 call, let's just, it's not happening, and we'll just get on with the day. And so it was 8 o'clock. I wrote the letter. I wrote the message into our group, and I was just taking down all the Instagram and Twitter and all that kind of thing. And then Anna Rose messaged me and was like, "This is not a drill. It's happening." And I was like, "What?" So Anna Rose jumped out of bed, shoved some makeup on from here up, and then we were on Sky News, which was pretty cool. They said we'd have about 5 to 7 minutes, and because there was this difficulties or whatever, we got 2. But I mean, 2.5 minutes on Sky News,
Boom.
winner.
Boom.
Yeah, so good story.
2.5 minutes you can keep on talking about for a while. Do you know what I mean?
And
yeah, absolutely. Anna Rose smashed it. She said bad vibes on Sky News. So I think a winner, really, which is hilarious.
Great. And I just love to see good news stories getting out, like you said, into the kind of world, because there is a lot of good news stories about at the moment, but they're often kind of not seen. So
yeah, I definitely so I think the thing that we do try and get out there is that, like, we know this is still going on. We're not ignorant to what's going on in this pandemic, and I think we don't want people to think that we're ignoring it, but at the same time we're not going to talk about it because you're going to get it everywhere else. So it's, we can appreciate it. We're here, but we are here to be your source of kind of happiness. Hello? instead of the dreary kind of news you can get.
Yeah. Do we lose Chloe there? I think we
Hello?
lost there, Chloe. Are you back?
I can see her now.
She's moving, but I don't know if she's
Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Slowly moving.
She's gone again, yeah. But yeah, so it's
never mind.
It's because obviously we're doing a thing which we kind of see as a little bit of a distraction as well, away from kind of all the kind of horrible stuff that's going on. And I really like the fact that people need something, so we're trying to give them something. That seems like that's the same kind of thing with Quarantine FM. And
yeah, I mean, it's all we can do, really.
Was it hard to bring all those people together in such a short time? Or, I mean, the good thing about this quarantine, I suppose, is there's a lot of talented people just kind of around, isn't there?
Yeah, we were really lucky. I mean, so we kind of started doing this, and we had our baseline presenters, and then we reached out to a few other people, and then from there, it's honestly just been people reaching out to us and us being like, guys, we're really stuck. We need somebody to do this. And now, I mean, it's a lot to manage. Honestly, it's a lot. There's so many of us. And I'm kind of doing all of as well as trying to work, which is insane. But we have so many WhatsApp groups you've never seen. Oh, hey, girl. You've never seen the amount of WhatsApp groups we have. It's nuts. We have our main WhatsApp group, and there's like 50 plus people in it now, which is, it's a lot. But the talent we have is amazing. We have people who work in these insane jobs and are just willing to give us their time, and everything is for free, and we're so lucky. And because Anna Rose and I, we don't pretend to know everything. We absolutely don't. I know that I have a business degree first, then I have a master's in musical theatre, so at least I kind of have something to go from. And Anna Rose has has loads of different, she's amazing. She's like one of the smartest people I've ever met in my life. But she has like a musical theater degree and then a master's in writing. And then obviously she's got all the radio experience. So we make a really good team. Like all of the managing and Anna Rose does all the editing kind of. She's, you know, program director, and the two of us kind of manage the programs together. But she's very much, when we have meetings, she'll always do the radio, all the notes on the radio, and I do all of the back end of it, the communication and all of the actual logistics of the whole team. Because if one person doesn't do one thing, there's a massive knock-on effect. That's the trick with radio. And because we're all remotely recording, we need to make sure that we have a clear sound and we know who we are as a radio station. Sure that everybody else knows who we are as a radio station, so that we're all in it together. And like simple things like communicating to everybody who's on the show every day, because if you're recording your show, you want to make sure that at the end of your show you're saying, okay guys, don't forget to stay tuned and listen to the next show, and we have a guest, this is on. It's so simple, but it's also so just logistics. So we need to make, it's a massive machine right now, and luckily I have an incredible team volunteering for us. But yes, it's a lot. I haven't really slept that much, neither has Anna Rose, and we annoy people all of the time. One of the girls was like, Kate, when you message me, you're literally like a ball of anxiety just like built up on, like, guys, when is this done? And they're like, Anna Rose is more like bad vibes, which is it works perfectly. I kind of play bad cop sometimes, which I really don't mean to do, but it's one of those things that sometimes you just have to be blunt and just word vomit a bit. Like I'll just send them random things and be like, guys, I want this. And everyone's like, okay. And I'm so bad, but also they're amazing. And that, you know, they're a great team. And every second Friday that Anna Rose and I chair, and it's all on Zoom. So we've got one tomorrow, and we've kind of been growing by maybe 10 or 20 people a week at the moment. So tomorrow will be nice. So everyone will meet each other. And then actually we've been really lucky to get in touch with some radio presenters who have actual experience, like proper experience, like really, really great radio presenters. So we've got someone coming in on Saturday to do a big kind of radio for dummies / how not to get sued kind of vibe for us. So that's great. So that's kind of something that Anna Rose and I really wanted to give our team, just to make sure that everybody knows what they're doing, because the majority of the team are not radio presenters. The majority of the team are musicians, actors, all of these different types of people who just want to get involved. And we were like, yeah, absolutely. And if people are happy to do it, then we are so happy to put them on. That's the idea. Is like, if you want to get involved, just let us know how you want to get involved, and we will try and get you in the team, because at the end of the day, like, the more the merrier, and the more voices heard, great.
Well, it sounds like an amazing kind of thing to be involved with. And now we've got Chloe back.
Sorry, guys.
Disappear there for a second, but we've got you back now. I think you've got a couple of quick questions, if for Kate, if you can.
I just my questions are, now I've met you, my questions are sort of changing, because there's so much I want to hear about. But I guess obviously you said you were touring in a show when lockdown happened, yeah, or just before, and
yeah.
So obviously this is all taken off. Is this role that you're in right now? I'm calling it a role. I love that. Is this role that you're playing, kind of as the radio presenter and, you know, founder and everything, is that something that you'd imagined that you wanted to do, or is that kind of literally being birthed from isolation, from the lockdown period?
Honestly, I have never really thought about it. I mean, I love talking to people, and I love stories, and that's kind of why I act. I love stories. And so something that I guess it was one of the, but it absolutely was not on the radar. No, this came out of nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. Yeah. But before I was like, I'm going to be an actor for a while, and then, you know, sorry, what were you going to say?
Carry on. Sorry, it's so difficult with the delay.
I know, I'm so sorry. Usually I'm just like, I'm going to be an actor, and then now I'm like, maybe I could do this, and maybe we'll keep this going. Who knows? That's what's exciting. This might be a thing.
Yeah, I know. Well, it is a thing. Like, it's not a might be, like, it's a thing. It's been born, and it's started. You know what I mean? It's just a case of navigating it through whatever happens when we are allowed to go out of our houses and actually see people or be in public spaces again. It's like, you know, we were saying this, weren't we, Elliot, with isolation gigs, like this podcast is something we talked about for a little while, but it was born out of different ideas, and we never really imagined it would be like this. And so I guess what I asked, because I thought, I wonder if you had a little seed of something, and now this has just given you that chance to start it, or actually it just came out of nowhere and you just went, okay, let's go.
Oh yeah, it absolutely just came out of nowhere. I'm very much like one of those people that's like, yeah, I'm just gonna run with it now. Here we are. I think that's what's great about being employed is I think I don't know about you guys, but I definitely feel that like being self-employed, I'm a little bit okay with not knowing what's next.
Of course,
and that's obviously worked to my advantage anyway, especially with this pandemic stuff. Like I'm living at home again. Oh my God, who knew that would happen?
I hear you. But I was going to also ask just a little bit. I might have missed it, but I don't think you've given us any background more into being an actress. So like your training and, you know, what maybe you've done so far or what you still hope to do past potentially getting out of this lockdown at some point.
So I mean I've always loved to sing, and I've always liked to act, be on the stage. And so I did my business degree, and then after that I did my master's in musical theatre in Royal Welsh, in Royal Welsh College of Music and Drama, which was amazing. And then then I graduated and was like, get me to London, people. I'm gonna be a star. And of course it doesn't work like that, you know. It doesn't work like that. But I've been really lucky. It doesn't. And everyone's like, what, really? You're not on the West End? You're like, no, mate, like I'm not. And that's okay. You know, the worst is like, so you're an actor, anything we've seen you in? And I'm like, not Coronation Street. I haven't been on the West End. So no, probably not. But I've been really lucky. I've traveled all around the world. I've done a lot of children's theater. I really enjoy children's theater. So yeah, I've pretty much been working since I left. Great. I haven't been, but I maybe I will one day. But you know what? I love working in new writing, and I love doing new stuff and creating brand new roles, because I'm not really an ingenue as such. And I don't want to just always fall into those like funny comedy fat girl roles, which is so generic. It's just, but it's true. That's a thing, and it's awful. It's awful. So I'm all about new writing, and I'm all about getting real people and real bodies heard. Yeah. So who knows what will happen in the future? I'm always open. Anything really. Yeah. Just say yes.
I really hear everything you're saying, because I'm musical theatre trained as well. Probably more a singer dancer than I've not done as much pure acting. But I know exactly the vibes. And you just, you know, you have to sort of go with what comes, and then you discover things about yourself. And I'm the same as you in that it's like there's all these roles, and which role do you want to play? And I just think I just want to do something that feels good and feels right. And actually I feel like I can bring something of meaning and substance to. And I think sometimes, you know, you've got to find your own way and carve your own way out. And these sort of experiences as well, you like starting this new thing, that'll bring a whole heap of new life experience to you that you can use, you know, down the line with your acting and just everything.
Yeah. I mean, it's really, Hannah Rose and I were a little bit selfish because we were like, we want to get people that we work with, you know. So we've had some incredible, Drew McConey on, and I've the MD of Waitress, Catherine, and I've had these insane people, which is amazing. And who knows, that might work in my favor in the future. But honestly, I think at this stage now, it's just listening to other people and having other people's voices heard. But at the beginning, I was like, I want to get all these famous people, but we've got a celebrity kind of booker on board now, so she's going to try and get us some cool people. And I think I agree with you. I think we just need to just take it as it comes, really, and just see what happens. And setting this up, it's amazing. You have some great following, and you're giving everyone. I'm so down.
Absolutely. I think that's all. And this time isn't a time to help bring new light to new people and new artists than when do you know what I mean? It's a time to just try and lift each other up and support each other and get to know new people like we're doing right now with you, which is ace.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree.
I was just looking at the time. Did you have to go at 6?
Yeah, I'm being really annoying, but I've got 3 interviews to do and then make a show, if that's okay, guys.
Of course.
Yeah, no.
I'm gonna have to jump off the call, but thank you
get it.
so much for having me. It's been such a pleasure. I'm sorry for just rambling the whole time, but we'll have to chat properly when you guys get to talk as well.
Yeah, we definitely will. And people can find you at quarantinefm.com, is it?
It's actually quarantinefm.ie, but yeah, pretty much. And then all of the social medias, all of the Twitters, and yeah, just hit us up. We're on Instagram, and I'm on Instagram, Kate McKeown too. So if you want to just give me a follow and reach out, give us a DM, all of those things. Awesome. So yeah, well, thank you so much for having me on, guys.
Thanks so much, Kate. Such a pleasure.
And, yeah, see you soon.
Bye. Thanks.
And then
that was lovely.
Then there were 2.
Then there were 2.
Yeah.
Oh, we're not side by side like that again, which is nice.
Yeah. I'm not sure how the thing works. It changes every week. It seems to depends what size camera people have and what screen they've got and stuff. So
it's got a little mind of its own.
I just click the random buttons down the bottom and see what happens, basically.
See what happens, play around. I'm sorry you lost me there.
I don't know what happened because you were we could see you, but then we couldn't hear you, and then
what that happened, and then I had to leave and come back on because I didn't know how to figure out the audio any different. Like, it just went.
Yeah.
But we're here now. We're all good.
I think in terms of our recent experience, I think our technical problems have been minimal today.
Very minimal. Well, you've got your fancy new mic, which clearly is bringing some joy.
Yeah, well, I thought it was about time, as I do music all the time, and now I'm doing podcasts. I thought, well, it's about time I actually got a mic rather than just making do with what I've got. A bit like what Kate said, like digging around in people's houses to try and find the right equipment. So
that was amazing chatting to Kate. I think she's absolutely storming it and doing so much good for everyone right now. So in every way, like working for the NHS. And and literally running a new radio station.
Yeah, what's really impressive is how they set it up in like 6 days.
That's
something I didn't know actually, because see, as I've seen how quite a few little radio stations run and how bigger ones run, it's a huge operation, and that's really impressive. Like
incredible
to set all that up in 6 days, but they've obviously got a brilliant team and such a wide-ranging team of talent, haven't they?
Well, I think, like she said, it was a passion project. So I think what's happened there is she's just attracted, a lot of good people that want to get involved. And, there's a lot of creatives like us out there that are looking for ways to be creative, ways to be involved, ways to give back to people. Do you know what I mean? So they obviously between them both know a lot of fabulous people and have managed to make this work, which doesn't sound like any easy task, but they're doing it.
Not at all. It's highly impressive, and there's so many talented people around at the moment. That like we've said it, I think I've said it every week, but I'll say it again. Like we don't realize how many talented people we know until a time like this, because you get offers to do things in projects which you'd never really imagine you'd get, and it's kind of like I think that seeing the amount of stuff that people are doing, like in the name of charity or just to help people out. Like, yes, people want something to do, but also they don't have to, do they? They could be sitting at home on their couch like 7 days a week if they really wanted to. Some of them are still getting paid probably. So
literally that is a possibility right now, isn't it? That's an option. You haven't got anywhere to be, got no obligation to anyone. Obviously if you have a family and those sort of things, but if you literally are out of your work at the moment, then yes, you can go 2 ways. But I think knowing the nature of the people, especially in our industry or people we know, most people do want to feel that they've got an outlet for as I say, creativity, but also for serving, for purpose. Do you know what I mean? To give, especially when there's so much else going on that you can't do anything about, and you can't really help out too much. You want to just do what you can in the small capacity. So
and do you think in times of uncertainty it's good that people can do what they know they can do, like like you say, to give themselves a purpose, because in a time of uncertainty, it could be very easy to kind of slide into the abyss, couldn't it? You know.
Totally. Well, I was thinking about that actually the other day, and I think what was I saying before Kate came on actually about that feeling of needing to feel like I'm doing something of good each day, and I was like analysing that a little bit, and I think it is that. I think it's definitely that feeling of if you don't have that something to hold on to, or that something to sort of get out of bed for, or make sure you are investing your time in something of use, you could easily just be like, well, actually you could easily just get into such a negative spiral about this whole situation. But I think and that's never going to be good for anyone. That's not going to help you, that's not going to help people around you. So I think the more you can find a way to build purpose in your day, and if it can give back to other people, then yeah, you're gonna feel more in control of your own circumstance, which is what we all need right now, isn't it? It's not there's so much out of our control that the small things you can control, then you need to do your best to do them, really.
Yeah, absolutely. And maybe people can start to think slightly into the future in the medium term anyway. Like everyone realizes and recognizes that when they eventually are allowed to get back to doing what they were doing before, it's not going to be the same. It's going to be a bit different. And maybe people can start thinking like longer term, what are they going to do in the next 6 months to a year, because they'll have to do different things, won't they? Probably.
Yeah, it's a slightly sobering thought, isn't it? But it's also quite exciting. It's a whole weird mix of feelings, because I think now we're in week 6. I've been certainly and also my birthday's coming up in a couple of weeks, which always makes me start thinking about my life and what is it I'm doing, and I think you can't just be thinking in a few months everything's going to be normal, because it's not. So I think if you don't start trying to create a little bit of a few new paths or new avenues that may well be able to actually in time sort you out financially a little bit as well, I think I think we all have to. I think if you don't, it's a slippery slope into actually getting a bit lost, but then that's easy. It's easy to say, isn't it? But it's not quick to just create new ideas or new paths. And also, I don't know about you, but I was thinking about all the work I've done outside of performing and creativity. That's stuff that I've always done over the years. That's not there either, because it's always involving people and events and hospitality of some kind. And so it is like a sort of blank slate, isn't it, right now?
It is, because it's difficult as well. Like there's various things that I have done before and could be doing. Like things like making piano tracks for people, or various different little projects. But then you think, well, at the moment, there's not really money being spent on those kind of things, because there isn't money to spend on it, or projects have basically been abandoned. So it's having to look beyond those other like things that you do, then to maybe find something new which you can do. So it's definitely a time for that, and looking ahead to kind of like what you might be doing in 6 months or a year. But it is exciting, because it could be a change. It could be a positive change for some people, and a better time. You never know.
I think if you don't give it a chance to be that, if you don't give it a chance to look at it that way, then you're not giving yourself a chance for it to be that. So if that made any sense, it made sense in my mind when I said that. But you've got to look at it with that attitude and give yourself the best shot, really, to get something new and, as you say, positive out of this year. Because there's no taking away from the fact we're in a very odd situation, but like Kate showed us, they've birthed something completely new out of this, and it's super exciting, and it's bringing people together in a new way. It's shining light on new talent, people that maybe have been struggling and not being able to be seen. And in time, with that, if that stays moving as it is, and momentum builds, that's only going to be something awesome, and something that was born out of something tough, but led into hopefully something really valuable for them and for everyone else.
And the great thing about that is that they've built such a solid foundation on in really difficult times. Imagine what they're going to be able to do when they're allowed to all get together and
exactly
be in studios and stuff. Yeah.
And I think that's what you said is crucial, that solid foundation. And I've been noticing there's people I've been connecting with, I think you're the same, over this time, that maybe I wouldn't have reached out to, or just I don't know, maybe I've been shy to or whatever, but everyone's on an even playing field, so you're sort of tapping out, reaching out to people, and those connections you're making now, I think, will only serve you in the future, because it's a time to create those new things, whatever they may be.
Connections made in a difficult time are probably connections which are going to last as well, because that's the kind of thing, isn't it? Someone goes through a disaster and someone was there to help them up, or you'll remember those people very much so. And so I think it is a good time to form those connections, or rekindle the connections that you might have had before. Which is really cool. So turning to Isolation gigs, I was just having a look at the event page, and we've had a quiet week, but I think we're going to have quite a busy one next week. We've got Dan Wild tonight. So
what time's he on?
Dan's on at 7, so
7.
People should definitely check out Dan Wild, because he's one of the best songwriters, I think, he lives in Cambridge, I think, still. It's one of the best songwriters I've met in Cambridge and on the Cambridge scene. And then
is that on his Facebook page or his Instagram? Do you know?
Facebook tonight. Yeah.
Cool. So everyone knows where to go.
And we've got our tried and trusted Friday night lineup.
We've got our Friday night lineup.
Yeah.
Let's just check. Remember who exactly. I believe that involves Tom DeLue, doesn't it?
It does. Tom DeLue.
Tom DeLue. I'm not sure that Joe Bailey.
Joe Bailey's doing a Soul Good Man.
We got a bit of Tom DeLue, Joe Bailey. We often have Miss Holiday Swing on a Friday. I'm going to check if she's going on or not tomorrow.
Hopefully, yeah. I think she'll be on.
And the Satin Dolls Pajama Party at 9 p.m.
Yeah, I think that's become a bit of a fixture, hasn't it?
It has become a fixture, yeah.
I
think they also, I think there's a possibility for collaboration with them and us over the whole VE Day weekend. So watch this space, because we're going to let you know how we're going to do some of those things.
Yeah, and I'm actually looking forward to the VE Day thing next week, because I think we're going to have loads of stuff which we would never normally have if it wasn't this time. But also VE Day, it doesn't come around. What is it? I don't know how many years it is. It 70?
Oh,
it might be more than that.
I wish I knew.
Yeah, I should probably know. No. Yeah, it's more than that, isn't it?
2020.
80, is it? I don't know. I can't remember, but
why can't I do the maths? Yeah,
it's a big day anyway.
It is a big day.
So I'm looking forward to seeing all those kind of acts. And then we've got our regular. So we've got myself on Saturday, you and Buskin Bruce on Sunday.
Yeah. Who else we got Saturday? We've got Zoe Phillips. Zoe Phillips is doing a Sunday feature now, I think.
Yeah, I think Zoe started doing Saturdays, but now she's doing Sundays, which is good. Daisy Chute does Sunday evenings, and she pops up every now and then on other places as well.
We've also got Simone Kay. She's doing her living room lockdowns on Sunday evenings. So, and we're not making it very clear for our viewers right now. Apologies, but we will. We'll always post on the right days.
if they click on the event thing on Isolation gigs, there should be at least a few events listed on there. I'll try and get them on there. So
I mean, as you said at the beginning, some people are having a bit of downtime, and I think it's understandable. I mean, it's just, you've got to take this time as it comes, but I think they'll have maybe a week off and then kick off again, and we're getting new people in each week, aren't we? Like new faces pop up, and we're also always looking around and seeing who's doing stuff and then collaborating with them. So it's there's always some exciting music going on.
Yeah, yeah. So there's going to be all sorts of stuff, and then next weekend we'll get into the VE Day stuff. So we'll post all that stuff. We'll post up there, and people can see what's going on and dip in and dip out of what they want, kind of thing.
Definitely. But I mean, Kate's really inspired me to build this to wherever we can for people.
Yeah. So if anyone is watching that hasn't subscribed, if you subscribe to the YouTube, give us a like.
Give us a like.
Thumbs up. That really helps because its likes kind of show up in the YouTube kind of algorithms and stuff like that. So it's something we're trying to build. And after this kind of isolation gigs, I think we're gonna still carry on doing the podcast, but we'll probably take them in a little bit of a different direction because we can talk about loads of different issues in the music industry, the arts, all the kind of issues which come up for everyone.
Totally. Well, I think as we said, this was born out of something we both wanted to do for a while, but it's kind of dealing with the immediate things that are going on at the moment, isn't it? But there's a lot we want to discuss and people we have in our mind that we want to bring on and just give a good overview to what is actually going on in the creative industries, really.
Yeah, exactly. And I think we're going to get some exciting guests on and who are doing all kinds of different things and people that are really proactive in their kind of in their field, which always inspires me to talk to people like Kate
100%
about stuff that I'm interested in because I love radio and music and Ireland.
You love Ireland.
Yeah, I love it. And also just creating new things like which I do here, it's really good. So I think probably around about now, it's probably a good time for us to say thank you very much, first and foremost, to Chloe for being here.
Oh, thank you all.
And thank you to Kate. If Kate's watching it back, thanks so much for coming on because that was a really, really interesting insight into how to build a radio station from scratch in 6 days in really trying circumstances. And they're absolutely smashing it.
They are. And she just came in with such enthusiasm, and in half an hour we got so much. It was like a whirlwind half an hour, but so valuable. So thank you very much, Kate. It was lovely to meet you. Yeah,
it was brilliant. So if everyone is enjoying Isolation Gigs, please check out the Isolation Gigs Facebook page, the Instagram account, which we post a lot of the gigs on Instagram. So that's a really good place to find when stuff's happening. We post it on the Facebook group. And in the next couple of weeks, there's going to be some cool announcements coming up from a few people that are involved in Isolation Gigs with a few different projects that they're all doing. But until then, enjoy the gigs, have a good weekend, and stay safe.
Yeah, take care, everyone.
See you later.
Bye.